It says we're live. Cue Supersonic. Whatever, dude. Fade Chris. Fade Chaz.
I feel like we should be fighting the cause, man, to this music.
Whatever, man.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Shall we?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah. Howdy.
Howdy. Wow, the volume's really high.
Yeah, is that you or no? It's you for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Need to dial this guy back. Check, 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 check.
Wow.
Yeah. What did I? Oh, I hit this slider here. Check, 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 check,
Oh,
check.
There you go. Much
Check,
better.
check,
Yeah.
check, 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 check. How's that?
Perfect. Chip, 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 chip.
Bam,
Chip, chips.
bam.
Bam.
What is it? It's a little low.
That's ideal.
I think it was right there. Check, check. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you?
Good. I'm going to turn you
It's
up
not
a
as
hair.
good as- Oh.
Just because last week.
Good is not as good as terrific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You win.
I do win.
Show's over. Bye. Let's
Thanks
ask the
everyone
$8
for
question.
watching.
All right, so I will let you
It is good.
prioritize where we start. We have a list of 30 executive actions that Joe Biden took in his first 3 days. So we'll go through those. You know, just to kind of set the table for this guy, you know, again, not a fan of Trump, but even less a fan of hypocrisy. And even less a fan, well, that's maybe tied, of
Politicians.
not doing government right. Executive action is supposed to be an exception, right? The way it works is Congress proposes something, typically a bill, it's going to become a law, and then the president says, yeah, makes sense, signs it, right? He's the sanity check. Or he says, this doesn't make sense, veto, and then it goes back, and they got to see if they can pass it on their own. But fucking 30, and I don't know how many Trump made, too many, 30 executive orders, you know, that's like a fucking monarchy or a dictatorship, or it's not, you know, a constitutionally limited republic. It's not 3 branches of government. Do you agree?
It's right. It's a king, yeah, or like you said, a monarchy. You have the one guy pulling all strings. Yeah, and Trump, to me, it seemed like it was more than that. It could have been 100, but you know,
In 3 days, though?
it could have been even day one. I don't know how many executive orders Trump did.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
A lot.
I just
Too many.
watched him that day, and it seemed like he signed a
Shitloads.
lot of that shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because he was signing and holding shit up, right?
Yeah, I just literally was watching him that day, and I literally watched the live. Sorry, I said literally several times there, but I did. I did literally watch it. It seemed like he signed a lot. It could have been 100, could have been whatever.
I remember
But,
that now.
Yeah. Oh, and I like your camo. But yeah,
But 30's too many. Too fucking
30's a
many.
lot. How many on day one? 17 things?
On day one, just 2.
Just 2, really.
But that's the day he was inaugurated.
He said, "I'm getting right to work," and he's like, 2's fine. We'll do another 20. We'll do 14 over the next several days.
Then on the 21st, I don't know, about 10 or 12. Then another 10 or 12.
Okay.
or whatever.
Well, okay. So, you say Christmas Eve? No, never mind. 21st. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I have these on the first day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So most of them on the first day.
Okay, so 17. So I was right. Oh, look at that, Charlie.
Huh.
Here I have a list of all of Trump's executive orders. There appears to be a shitload. So, anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, we're getting sidetracked here. The point is, we want to read this list, and I'm just curious what we see on there. There's a couple other things we wanted to go over, but this is going to be interesting to me because it shows what they felt was the most important to mandate day one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
believe
then-
one of the most. Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish.
I was going to say one of those things on there, and we'll go through this in just a second, folks, is the men and women. There's no more legal discrimination between a man and a woman. Or maybe I'm interpreting that incorrectly, but there's nothing stopping me from gaining the protections that a woman can gain because it says male on my birth certificate. And I might be wrong about that, but
It's something like that, and we can look at the language, and there are some women who have issue with it, is my
that's
understanding.
the wolf movement, right? The women's liberation front. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
And
Wolf.
also, what's the feminists who are anti-trans?
They're just
TERF?
called LGBs.
No, there's TERF.
They're called TERF because they still-
Transgender something radical feminists. TERF.
Yeah, I was reading
Transgender-
these stories.
Transgender, God, what's the E? Whatever, radical feminists. And their deal is,
Exclusionary.
and we're getting sidetracked again, is they're like, if you totally extrapolate transgender rights, so if you have somebody who's transitioned man to woman, their biggest issue is how do you deal with prison? Right?
It's just a fuck fest.
Well, it's a lot of things, but I mean, even if you just want to fight,
Oh,
It's not a fair fight.
Whatever. Yeah.
right? In terms of ability to rape, yeah, I mean, it's just not.
Yeah, and I don't
not
mean
a-
necessarily willing when I say that about it. It's a fuck fest. It's not necessarily always a two-way street there, but the if you want to, damn, we should get into this. But sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. But yeah, and then in terms of things like, participating in the Olympics, right? You could be a power lifter. You know, pound for pound, men are stronger than women because women have a much higher percentage of body fat. So anything that's by weight, fighting, somebody who's transitioned wins. Weightlifting wins. Running faster wins. It's just, they got a point. God, I wish I remember what the E is. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is they do a nice job of giving a category on whether or not it overturned a Trump thing. So I was thinking we'd go through the things that reversed Trump executive orders first, because that's kind of interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
All right, so starting on January 20th. Stops the United States withdrawal from the WHO, which, whatever, that's fine.
That's a great
I mean,
band.
we should belong to that shit. If for no other reason,
Yeah.
if they're
Then we can
screwed up,
influence it.
yeah,
Yeah.
to go in there and have influence and,
Right.
correct, right the ship, so to speak.
Yeah. I
Restores, and this one's interesting, restores collective bargaining power and worker protections for federal workers and lays the foundation for $15 minimum wage. When I read this, I was really surprised that an executive order could in any way touch collective bargaining.
It's exclusively relating to workers in the executive branch, though, right?
Oh, it
Or is
is?
it all federal employees?
I don't know.
That's what an executive order is.
Okay. You know more than I then.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But
Maybe I'm wrong.
even any kind of collective bargaining, I'm surprised that just, one man, the president, could touch that, because a lot of
You'd
collective
be like,
bargaining.
by the way, you can no longer executive, or you can no longer do that. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
like,
because
wait, what the fuck? Yeah.
a lot of collective bargaining issues have been tested in the Supreme Court. That one just anyway. So reverse that. Surprised me. Don't know if I really have an opinion on it. Don't know enough about it. The next one directs OMB, which I don't know what that is, director to develop recommendations to modernize regulatory review and undoes Trump's regulatory approval process.
OMB. What is that?
I don't know. So since I don't know, don't have an opinion. Next one, halts construction of the border wall by terminating the national emergency declaration used to fund it. No surprise there. And that was kind of questionable, how he diverted funds to do the wall.
Yeah.
It was kind of sleazy, but whatever. I mean, I support a wall, but don't really like the way he funded it. So that's not a surprise. The next one, undoes. Huh?
Never mind. I was gonna say it's funny
let's
how
talk about him.
even after all that shit, like all the shady, disgusting stuff the government does, Trump had to do something like questionably moral to like divert a few $1 billion to make a fucking wall. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're sending this COVID relief bill that we're gonna send fucking, we're doing it for $900 billion, and some of it's going to you guys, but most of it is going to other countries. And they're like, wait, what? And they're fucking mad that Trump's investing in what is essentially just an update to our infrastructure. And it's like, it's like, is he doing dirty pool by doing it like that? I don't get that. It's like, just because he did it and wasn't smart enough to fucking pull the wool over the voters, makes him a bad guy. That's funny to me.
There's definitely some irony there, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, where was it? Undoes Trump's expansion of immigration enforcement within the United States. I don't know the details of that, but I would have to say, illegal immigrants it's a problem. It's a problem, and it's such a political football. And you know what? I told you that. I think I brought this up last week. I'm kind of surprised. Immigration, DACA, undocumented. Yeah, we did talk about it last week. Why doesn't BLM get involved and say, look, man,
These are our jobs.
these are our jobs.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. That's who it fucking affects the most.
Right.
And the, what the hell was I going to say? I was going to say, the way that you read that, he undoes, because I read like a major story on that. About how they essentially were like, hey, release everyone. And we are halting deportations.
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Oh, okay.
So the next one is reverses the Trump administration's restrictions on U.S. entry for passport holders from 7 Muslim majority countries. Now, that one, back in the day, those 7 countries, all he did was Barack Obama identified those countries and did something similar. And it was just, they were countries that were ISIS hotspots.
Yeah.
So when Trump took it over, they said, they didn't call it like ISIS hotspots, they called it majority Muslim, and just, flipped it on its head politically and called it, religious discrimination, when he was just doing the same thing, keeping the countries that had, dangerous players potentially coming into our country.
And what's it's great to me is like, if you asked Obama, he'd be like, Joe, you helped me actually write that list the first time. And he's like, oh yeah, I did do that, being corn pop when I was busy with corn pop. Yeah, and it's like, dude, what the? It's all 100% optics, and it's like almost every story in politics can come down to that. It's just like, what did the media do? You know, it's
Well,
like, how did they spin it? Yeah,
the sad thing is, people don't bring this up, and regular Joes don't remember, and it's just frustrating. Nobody said 4 years ago that these are the same countries that Obama put restrictions on because
I remember that.
they were terrorist hotspots.
Didn't we talk about that on
man.
the show? Maybe not.
Probably.
I think we did, because I knew that was the case. I'm just saying it's right now what you're saying is they switched the verbiage, where it's, by the way, verbiage is the proper pronunciation of that word. Verbiage, not verbiage.
You've said that before.
I'm doing it again. Sorry, I just hate that. And I've totally lost my train of thought. The point is,
Getting
it's all
lost
about
in your
verbiage.
favorite word, being
Yeah.
pedantic.
pedantry, yeah. Anyway, it's optics, and it's the disingenuous media, which you love to fucking talk about, and they just spin. That's their job, is spin.
Yep.
Spin,
They
spin,
just
spin.
relabeled it and made it something different.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Why don't we just call that spin news?
Fake news.
Never mind.
Somebody already did.
Oh, wow. Someone already did it.
Did I say reverses the Trump administration's restrictions on U.S.? Yeah, from Muslim
Yeah, you
majority
did.
countries. Yep.
Yep.
So when I just did. Did I say undoes Trump's expansion of immigration enforcement within the United States? Yes. Here's the one. No. Requires non-citizens to be included in the census. Apportionment of congressional representatives. That one I got to agree with. That should have been a bill that went through Congress. I think
So
Trump
what
made
it-
the right call there.
What it essentially does is gives the people who are here illegally, not only it gives them numerical, I guess it gives them, you're saying, hey, these people are here, we're keeping track of them through the census, and then we're also going to base their representation in Congress on those numbers. Give
Yes.
them representation. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to be right. Exactly. So you know what? I think we should count them. I certainly don't think that we should
represent
include them officially
No,
in
what the fuck?
how we represent our citizens because they're not.
Yes. Hey, here's how. Then you have to add the caveat every time you say, I'm an American citizen and a voting non-citizen or whatever. You're like, wait a second. What the fuck? What is a voting non-citizen? It's an illegal voter. God damn it. It's the same thing as a dead person.
I'm not sure I connected the dots on that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the dead people aren't supposed to vote either. You like have no more rights. as a
Oh,
dead person.
right. In terms of a bogus
Yeah.
ballot.
Yes. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's different. But yeah, the bogus ballot wasn't really, I was going with that. But yes.
Oh, okay. Next one. Rescinds the Trump administration's 1776 commission, directs agencies to review their actions to ensure racial equity.
Oh, this is interesting. Go ahead.
I don't know what that means. Directs agencies to review their actions to ensure racial equity. Don't know.
What's the 1776 commission?
I don't remember.
Oh, he revokes. So this is promoting. It used to promote patriotic education. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe teaching accurate history in school. I don't know.
I'll have
I
to
don't
read-
know.
Damn, I want to do a show on this. 'Cause
Okay.
That's interesting.
We
Okay,
can.
Anyway, go ahead.
We can. We don't need to. And I hadn't planned on doing like a deep dive in all these. Okay.
That's okay, go ahead.
Cancels the Keystone XL pipeline and directs agencies to review and reverse more than 100 Trump actions on the environment.
I have to go for that.
Yeah. I mean, the pipeline, really?
I read that because of that one, Biden may have broken the record for number of U.S. jobs killed in one single day of being president, which is over 70,000.
Really? I thought it
Yeah.
was hundreds.
It said nearly 70,000 was the one that I read,
Huh.
or over 70,000. Yeah.
Wow. Well, maybe I don't know. Then the next one rejoins the Paris Climate Accord, a process that will take 30 days. Again, yeah, we should be in that. I mean,
Yes,
even
we should
if
be
it-
in it just so we can influence it, but what the fuck?
yeah.
Like,
Right.
not a big deal. Yeah.
Okay, so those are just the ones that were Trump reversals.
Okay.
Now, the rest
Ooh,
of the
here's
story.
the good ones. This is his agenda now.
Okay. I'm going to go. Now I'm going to go in this order. Am I? No. I'm going to go in this order. It's easier. Okay. Calls for assistance to those who are struggling to buy food, missed out on stimulus checks, or are unemployed. The way things are right now, I can't say I got a big problem with that. What do you think?
I have to object on principle that redistribution of whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm nicer than you. Accelerates manufacturing and delivery of supplies for vaccination, testing, and PPE. That's just
Huh.
that's politics right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how the fuck is that different than anything Trump is doing? You're just doing that to get the buzzards off your back, dude. Yeah, or saying that, right?
Yeah, it's
This is gonna
sounds good.
accelerate something. How? By me saying it's gonna happen is that
Right.
it's accelerating it already.
Go
Look.
faster.
Yeah,
Go
yeah, right.
faster.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah, that's fucking politics. That was beautiful. You hit the nail on the head.
Directs FEMA to expand reimbursement to states to fully cover the cost for National Guard personnel and emergency supplies.
Huh?
I don't know.
When does COVID count as a natural disaster? Technically, it should, right?
Yeah, I guess that's probably what that is. That makes sense. Establishes the Pandemic Testing Board to expand U.S. coronavirus testing capacity. Again, that's
Aren't we all? Aren't we
just
already the
politics. That's signing something that you could just tell the director of, I don't know, the CDC
To do it,
or tell the governors or whatever. You do that in
Yeah.
a fucking phone call with one of your staff. You could. That's something you just
Yeah, literally.
delegate,
Yeah.
and you don't
biggest? Yeah.
make a statement.
Which is 90% of your job, I believe, as president. Anyway, go ahead.
99.
99.
You
Wow,
delegate
99.
shit, right?
You also have to sleep in the link.
I mean, it's 330 million people, biggest economy in the world. Can you really do 1% yourself? Probably not.
Fuck no, I guess you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just delegation. Right.
Establishes pandemic testing. We just said that. Establishes a
Yeah.
preclinical program to boost development of therapeutics in response to pandemic threats. That's
Again, yeah. Same
that's
shit.
even kind of redundant.
Yeah. 'Cause what the fuck? They're just like throwing out Trump's plan?
Well, no, but whatever.
They're like, I think they're trying to show that he didn't have a plan, whereas they were reaching 1 million vaccinations a day, right? And then I saw their initiative is, in the first 100 days, we're going to do 100 million vaccinations, which is better than Trump because he didn't have any distribution plan and whatever. And it's like, wait a second. If you're doing the math here, 1 million a day times 100 is 100 million, or you're going to do 100 million in 100 days. Which is better? It's the fucking exact same. And they went out and made this whole thing. They were bashing the Trump administration, and they literally said they were going to do it identically, quick, as exactly as fast as they were. Anyway,
Sorry. Yeah. There's a lot of politics in here.
it's all stupid.
Enhances the nation's collection, production, and sharing analysis of coronavirus data. Really? Even if you signed one, a lot of these should just be in one, right?
Yeah.
The coronavirus get better bill or whatever.
It should have been one.
directive.
Yeah. Be better at COVID. Check. Yeah.
Oh my God! Here's another one. Directs FEMA to create federally supported community vaccination centers. We don't even need to comment anymore on the coronavirus ones. Directs Department of Education and HHS to provide guidance for safely reopening and operating schools, child care providers, and institutions of higher education. States are doing that. What the fuck? And they're
I was
already...
gonna say they're already opening up. Wait,
Yeah.
they announced in Michigan that they could open up and go back to school, right?
Yeah.
This is like way before the election.
Yeah.
But-
Calls on OSHA to release clear guidance on COVID-19, decide whether to establish emergency temporary standards, and directs OSHA to enforce worker health safety requirements. Really? That's coming out of the office of the president? I mean, that's wow. I got
What do
nothing.
you mean?
That's just bullshit. Next one requires mask wearing in airports and on certain modes of transportation, including many trains, airplanes, maritime vessels, and intercity buses. International travelers must provide proof of a negative COVID-19 test prior to coming to the U.S. That has some
See,
teeth. Go ahead.
How do you legally do that?
I talked to
that
a
allowed?
friend of mine who's an attorney, and she said that it's legal. And she used the language, and I wish had remembered it word for word. But basically, in times of crisis, it's kind of like a civilian version of martial law.
So wouldn't you have to a civil version? So if it went to court, you would have had to prove that right now it is some time of crisis that warranted that kind of action. And if you're like, actually, this shit's all trumped up anyway, and they'd have been like, oh, I guess you're right, throw it out. Well, isn't that kind of subjective?
I don't think so. I mean, when over 1 in 1,000 people in America have died in a year, I think that constitutes.
Is that really what it was? Oh.
400,000 people. That's over 1 in 1,000 people have died. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I think to say that there's not a national crisis would be a stretch.
No, I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm saying all you would need to do in a court of law to overthrow that or say that there was wrongdoing is prove that it wasn't a time of crisis or whatever, right? That's what they would be doing, I guess.
Right. And I'm just saying, I don't think that argument would fly.
It's water, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Creates COVID-19 health I don't even know what this means. Creates COVID-19 health equity task force to help ensure an equitable pandemic response and recovery. Now, that's just silly. Really? Do you agree? What does that even mean?
Can you read it again for me?
Creates a COVID-19 health equity equity. Who knows
Anytime
what the
there's that
fuck's
word,
wrapped
you gotta
up in
watch
there,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Creates the COVID-19, and it's capitalized. Health Equity Task Force is capitalized to help ensure an equitable pandemic response and recovery. Actually,
It just means,
that's
it just
pandering.
means that they're not. Yeah, it's stupid. It's like, oh, are black people getting helped out as much as white people are? And then Joe Biden came out with that. Remember the shit where he said, essentially, if you are all of the above, you're going to be getting help for your small business or your employees or whatever, or if you're unemployed or whatever the fuck. And pretty much the list is everybody except for white men. It was like, unless you're a white man, we're gonna help you. And they didn't just come out and say we're helping everybody but white men, but they just said black people, brown people, women, poor areas, whatever, all this shit.
I'm getting really confused. Yeah, I'm getting really confused though, because now disabled is getting brought up more and more and more. And
they're like,
I took a break
from class now.
I took a break from. Well, here's the question. I took a break from Robin DiAngelo, but in her book, part of her deal is she calls it ableism.
That's a thing.
It is. I've been in a chair for 28 years. I'm like, interesting. Never heard the word. Never thought of it conceptually. But here's the thing. So since I started writing, Rolling Stone asked people like, I forget how they phrased it, whatever. But I've decided I'm in, like, instead of Club Med, Club Disenfranchised. So, so because I'm a member of Club Disenfranchised, am I still a white man?
Ooh, yeah, you're
Yeah,
just,
that's kind of weird, right?
um,
Is the big circle disabled and white man the little circle, or is the big circle white man and the little circle in a
the
Venn
little circle's
diagram disabled? How does
I
the
don't-
Venn diagram work?
I think honestly think that you would fall in the disabled category first because of how people treat you in the street. Where like I would look at it like your day-to-day interaction of people being like, "Let me get the door for you," and you're like, "Fuck off," and they're like, "Whoa, just trying to help." Whereas like if they looked at you as a white man first, they're like, "Let me get the like I don't need to get the door for this
Good
guy."
point.
So I think people do
Wow.
look at you like that.
Way to give me frame of reference.
Yeah, and that is ableism right there. Is they're fucking treating you differently because of your ability or lack thereof, right?
Especially when I say, please don't hold the door.
Please fuck. All right, please go fuck right off. Go make yourself feel better by helping someone else across the street, please. Yeah. Please don't hold the door,
Yay for me. I'm not white anymore or male.
dude. That's awesome. No way. Wait,
Cool.
so what can we can't call this show Two White Guys?
A couple of white guys. I guess we
White
can't.
guys, sorry.
Right.
Yeah,
They
you're a protected class now.
the millennial and the cripple. Whatever.
I'm a Gen Z. Thank you very much.
Okay. The zoomer and the cripple. Ooh, that's got a ring
Yeah.
to it.
The Zoomer. I do like that. I really do like that. This is a good one. Zoomer's not bad.
The
It's better
zoomer
than
and the
Millennial, that's
cripple.
for sure. Yeah. New TV show.
We may be onto something here.
It's like Smokey and the Bandit.
Have like you like with a cape flying with a Z on the cape, you know, and then have me and like some I don't know fucked up cripple thing. Or maybe you're flying with me in your arms like this.
I could see that. That's
The
good.
zoomer and the cripple.
I'd watch that.
Oh my. All right, where the fuck are we?
You just talked about equity, which is totally, folks at home, totally bullshit. It's all fucking, that's optics 100%, and it's totally subjective. Anyway.
A presidential directive to restore America's leadership support the international pandemic. These are really redundant. The international pandemic response effort, promote resilience for future threats, and advance global health security and the global health security agenda. This is gobbledygook. It really is.
I'm thinking like,
I mean, one of them could just say, you know, establish one of them, you know, the new corona task force and address, you know, all applicable concerns. This is just a
Boom.
bunch of, this is the thing you were describing. Just signing shit so you can hold it up and say, look.
Wait, that's literally what I was just about to say. You ever think about how much money gets wasted just on because the politician had to fill up his word count? Like, you know, in high school when you had like, you need to write a paper that is 700
You're
words. They're
counting
like,
the words.
yeah, and you're like, you know, on your fucking, you know, in your first 3 days of being president, you have to do at least 30 executive orders. And he's like, well, I got 17. He's like, maybe I could do
You think?
13 of them related to COVID. And then there's like 12 extra ones that he didn't need to do because they're just like extra COVID things. And now how much money got wasted on like creating those programs and then firing those people because nothing was needed. He's like just rewording it. That's what's going on. He's trying to get to 500 words on his fucking midterm.
I
Yeah.
can't say that
Anyway.
that doesn't sound plausible.
That's exactly
Gonna count the fucking words when we're done with the show. Launches a 100 days masking challenge, asking Americans to wear masks for 100 days, requires masks and physical distancing in federal buildings, federal lands, and by government contractors, and urges state and local governments to do the same. I'm in favor of masking. The 100 masking challenge in quotes, I mean, that's like a high school thing.
Yeah.
Requiring masks
That's
in
like-
federal buildings and whatever, then, that's fine, whatever. Creates the position of a COVID-19 response coordinator reporting directly to Biden and managing the efforts to produce and distribute vaccines and medical equipment. That's already been said, other than creating a position of somebody who reports directly to him. All that was said, don't you agree? In other ones?
Yeah,
Fuck
all
me,
of it's
really?
been said several times. Yeah.
Extends the existing nationwide moratorium on evictions and foreclosures until at least March 31st. I'm nice, you're not. I'm fine with this. Do you object on
Nationwide
principle?
moratorium on evictions
Yeah.
and foreclosures. Does that have to do with rent as well as mortgage? Is it exclusively mortgage related, or is it also just like rent?
It would be both.
Like if you have a lease.
Evictions would be apartments, foreclosures would be mortgages,
Oh. Wow.
generally speaking.
I mean, here's fucking what I hate that you have to, as a somewhat unique person, you have to have, at least politically speaking, you have to stick to your guns. I would say as a person, I have no problem with that.
Well, you're allowed to be a person.
I'm just saying, let's say
You're allowed to break ranks from yourself. I mean, that's part of like being human.
I'm saying if my girlfriend couldn't pay rent and then like this is helping her not get kicked out of her apartment for another 2 months, do I hate that? No, but should the law be able to
Yeah,
protect
but
her in that sense, technically?
we can't live in
Sorry.
vacuums of, just total principality, because shit happens. It's life.
No, but I don't want to be thrown under the bus of my own wavering principles. So, whatever. I'll say yes and no.
Yeah, but you're allowed to be nice. You really are.
That's so weak. I'm just kidding.
Prevents
I'm
work.
fucking Captain Zoomer. I'm not supposed to be weak. Go ahead.
Right. Right. Prevents workplace discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity.
Was that not already a thing?
Gender identity is actually not a thing. Sexual orientation is. So I don't get that.
Why did they include it? Why did they tie it to that one?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I know in like mortgage law, there's
Because this is what went to the Supreme. This is what went to. What was this in? This was in something we talked about briefly, where gender identity is not part of sex, like
Right. Oh,
male,
we did
female.
talk about this shit.
right. So gender identity is not protected under current law. So this actually does something, and you know what? If you're transsexual, you shouldn't be discriminated against. So.
Whoa,
Whatever.
transgender, Chris. Transsexual is a whole different thing.
Well, gender identity, transsexuals, you'd say I'm a man who likes girls' clothes. So that's not in there.
That's a
Who likes
cross-dresser.
wearing girls' clothes. I like
That's what
girls'
a
clothes.
cross-dresser
I just like them on girls.
I-
And men too, I guess. It kind of depends on their body.
Also depends on the clothes. If it was a sweater, I'm kind of okay with whoever wears it. If it was lingerie, we're delving into murky water.
Hang on now. Hang on. Think about like a crop sweater on a guy with a big, fat, hairy beer belly.
Well,
You're okay with that? Because that's a sweater.
but they'll wear that anyway.
With like a big open collar and his big
Yeah, you've
hairy
seen that.
fat necks hanging out.
Wait, guys literally do that. They cut open their sweaters. You've seen this to work out, and they cut the.
Yeah, but those are
they
like
crop
guys
their
who
own
are
sweaters.
those are guys who are buff and muscular and not.
I'm just
unattractive.
saying that the similarities are there. No, I'm not okay with that. By the way, keep your fucking gut out of my eyesight.
Right. Exactly.
Men and women.
Men and women.
And
right.
why girls, if you're a big fatty, do you wear tight clothes? Never understood that. Sorry, that was a little bit mean.
Well, guys kind of do it too. I mean, fat
try
guys
not
keep
to.
wearing the same sweatshirts. 40 pounds later, they get the sweatshirt with their gut hanging out. It's like, dude, you know
Literally
what?
the same
You
sweatshirt.
can't wear your Frankie Goes to Hollywood t-shirt anymore.
Not anymore. That's why I bought more large sweaters when I gained weight. See, this is a new large sweater that I got at a very reasonable price.
There you go. Where are we? This is fun, actually.
This is fun.
Extends deferrals of deportation and work authorizations for Liberians with a safe haven in the United States until June 30th, 2022. I don't even know why that's in here.
What the
I mean,
fuck?
it's
Why is it
ignorance on my
specifically
part.
Liberians.
Right. I don't understand what this is, so I can't really have an opinion. Okay.
See what Chris did there, folks? He didn't know, so he waited to bitch about something. That's very interesting. That's the proper way to react in a situation like that. Sorry.
And I'm not averse to bitching,
Yeah.
but how do I bitch about something I'm
Don't get me
clueless
wrong. I
on?
love bitching.
Right. Don't get me wrong. I just try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Requires executive branch appointees. Requires. It's not fair when you have it in front of you, right? And you read ahead and do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate it when people do
yeah.
that, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Requires executive branch appointees to sign an ethics pledge, barring them from acting in personal interest and requiring them to uphold the independence of the Justice Department. Actually, as I read further into it, I mean, you already take an oath that you're going to...
Jennifer Granholm, dude. Didn't I send you this? An ethics pledge? She got appointed to be the energy sultan or whatever the fuck it's called, and she has $1 million worth of stock in an energy company that hasn't even gone public yet.
Oh, really?
What the fuck is that?
When
That's
did
like
she buy it?
huge red X. I don't know. I sent you this story.
Well, if she's owned it for a year, it's not a big deal. If she's owned it for a week, it's a huge deal. Right?
Literally 1 week. That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
The other group, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, what she should do, she represents herself as like not well off, which is a joke. But anyway,
bullshit.
what she should do,
Hey, go ahead.
what she should do is just get out of that deal. She should just get out of that deal because it's the right thing to do. You know, she and her husband are doing fine. Get out of the deal.
Just get out of it. Yeah, well, fuck, I can't find this thing. Hang on.
Like, think of
Bitch.
if Trump was right in the middle of, I don't know. It'd be harder for him because it's like I was going to say building a hotel. That's a much bigger project and takes a lot longer. But anyway, she should get out of that stock. It's the right thing to do. Just get the fuck out of it.
Disclosed millions of dollars of profits in corporate and private business interests, including millions in companies linked to the energy industry as lawmakers prepare to consider her nomination. The former two-team commissioner governed $16.8 million in corporate interest in private assets. I thought it was $1 million. This is just released on Monday. Office of Government Ethics. Okay.
And you know that... So $1 million. I got to interrupt here. Do you remember when I said she was on the Frank Beckman show on my way to work when she was governor, and somehow the movie The Devil Wears Prada came up, and she said, I wouldn't even know where to buy Prada shoes. Like, I have such humble means that I wouldn't even know where to buy fancy shoes. Fuck off. You're doing one stock deal for $1 million bucks. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no. This says her largest assets are $1 million to $5 million stock options. So she has $5 million stock options. What the fuck is that?
That doesn't make any sense. Say that again.
She can exercise them in Proterra.
Oh. Just on this deal. I thought you meant like celebrity net worth, said her.
No. Yeah, they're options.
Well,
anyway.
That's some high fucking rolling right there.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? I wouldn't even know where to buy Prada shoes because I'd make my butler do it. Right? I'd make my boy
There you
go.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's our list. Wasn't that interesting?
That's all of them?
That was all of them.
The last one was the fucking
that was as of
Oh.
Saturday. Is today the 24th? Oh, hey, we didn't introduce ourselves.
Biden's been president for 4 days.
It is
24th.
Sunday, January 24th. We're on episode 73. I'm Chris.
I'm Charlie.
And we've been...
Eight ballin'. What?
There you go. What time did we start at? Are we already like 45 minutes in or more?
We're 52 minutes in.
Wow. That went fast. That was fun. So, whatever. I mean, a lot of those coronavirus things were just redundant, goofy, like you said, making your essay 500 words.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
So Charlie sent me a link this morning or last night, the AOC link.
Yeah.
And some guy, some bonehead, he's not a bonehead actually, attempted to bring a gun through a metal detector into the House of Representatives. The metal detector went off. It was very misrepresented by CNN. Surprise, surprise. So they said, you got a gun. You can't do that. Get out of here. So he left, presumably put the gun in his car or someplace safe, his office, whatever.
He's like,
And came back 10 minutes later and went into the house. So here's something interesting. The guy's a Johns Hopkins MD. He was on active duty as like medical director in the Navy on some ship or whatever, and was in Desert Storm. And guess what? Guys in the military carry sidearms. And the reason this is relevant is, so the CNN thing, the title was something about AOC fears being in public with other Congress people or something like that, and doesn't attend.
Yeah, essentially, she says, I'm still in fear of whatever, being in the Capitol or some shit like that. Yeah.
Actually, she kind of didn't. So CNN's title was totally disingenuous because before she got under my skin, she was just doing an interview and giving reasonable answers, and it was Cuomo on CNN. I think that's in the link you sent me.
Yeah.
So he said. So she said, the problem I have with the gun is it just makes it more dangerous for us there. And I'm like, wait a minute. This guy's a military guy, presumably trained with a gun. It's only going to make you safer. And she just kept saying, an individual having a gun just makes it more dangerous for us. You can't have a gun in there. It makes it more dangerous for us. It makes it more dangerous for us. Really? And I thought of like,
if I'm going...
somebody defending you, like a military guy with a gun who would have it there to protect you, makes it more dangerous for you. Yeah, this is just to me, and she's older than you, but I mean, to me, she's just a little girl. I mean, she's not a little girl, but she's a young woman who, she's not speaking from experience. She has created a version of herself, and now she like buys into her own hype, and she's a caricature of herself. It's really sad. Anyway.
I love the imagery of that caricature of herself. But if I'm going to a party, let's say a house party or neighborhood party, and I have my sidearm, I'm not going to that party with a gun to shoot the people at the party. I'm going there to help protect those people in the event that something bad happens, or shoot cans off of a fucking fence. But
well, she offered no specificity. She just kept saying it. All she could think of was because he kind of pushed her. He was trying to be like a reporter, and he kind of pushed her on it. And he's like, "Well, what's your problem with it?" She's like, "Well, it just makes us less safe." And that's all. That was.
Wait, I'm reading the quote right now, and she said, "Guns are not allowed in the District of Columbia." Is that true? Because there's plenty of fucking guns there, I promise you.
So in D.C., I don't know. Maybe CCWs in Maryland. Maybe it's like Michigan's stipulations are you can't take it into a public arena, you can't take it into a place where they serve alcohol, can't take it into schools. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, there are certainly a lot of guns in terms of Secret Service and police and all that in D.C. So I mean,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
not
There's fucking plenty
applicable.
of guns.
But in terms of
Yeah.
being a private citizen, I don't know. But there was
She
also
would just
some
be wrong.
interesting. There was also some interesting language in Wikipedia. Has I might even have it up. Wikipedia already did in this guy's bio a thing on that, and it suggested that in the short time since he tried to carry that in, the House rules have changed. Do you know his name?
No.
Oh,
I don't know his name.
okay. This is one I've been trying to get out for a couple of months. AOC authored the Green New Deal with that other guy. I forget his name, right? Or so she has said. I have heard her say, I authored the Green New Deal. Okay, you ready
Yeah.
for this? Okay,
Was it
Google.
already written?
2006, the Green New Deal.
We've been over this.
I'm doing it again. Okay, Google. 2006, the Green New Deal.
According to Wikipedia, in 2006, a Green New Deal was created by the Green New Deal Task Force as a plan for 100% clean, renewable energy by 2030 utilizing a carbon tax, a jobs guarantee, free college, single-payer healthcare, and a focus on using public programs.
She authored it? 2006, Green New Deal Committee. Fuck you.
What was she? 16 years
She's
old in that?
icky.
When that-
Icky. She's indoctrinated.
How old is she?
You couldn't see my hand.
Sorry, what were you doing?
Drop the mic.
Bitch. She is born. She's 31, so she was 16 when that came out. I wrote it. It's the socialist wet dream too. I love all those buzzwords. It's like
Free
carbon
school?
tax, job guarantee, free college, fucking social program. I love that. Yeah.
She just added some shit in. The Green New Deal Task Force in 2016, almost 15 years ago. Really? Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a liar. Yeah. Yeah, you're a fucking liar. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. And it's like the Hillary Rodham Clinton thing where, oh my God, we're seeing the birth of the new Hillary. I'm just not seeing that. That's who AOC is, right? She's just going to be, or I guess maybe it's the new Nancy Pelosi. But,
Lizzie
and
Warren.
Hillary Rodham, huh?
Lizzie Warren. She's the worst of
Warren,
them all to
yeah.
me.
It's the Pocahontas shit, the whole Native American thing was, I don't know why the media doesn't ever talk about that. Why don't they be like, yeah, you're fucking burned at the stake for this. You're taking protections that
I
are meant
think
for people who actually
I'm
have
gonna-
strife in their life.
I'm going to remind everybody, and maybe you don't remember exactly, the Washington Post, when this little card, when she filled out her bar card, and it said ethnicity, and she wrote in American Indian. There were no boxes to check. It was ethnicity : line. And it was written in blue ballpoint ink. American Indian. And the Washington Post had a little scan of it, and the gist of the article, no, the Huffington Post. It was one of the two. Whatever. Definitely left-leaning rag.
Yeah.
Said, this one is inescapable. She's done.
Yeah.
And
sure enough,
it fucking just slid off.
puttered out. Yeah. And no, it's what always happens. It's like, whoa, who's the person who has the morals who's going to stick with the story instead of being like, there's a new story, I need to make more bones, Or they're like, that one can wait. I'll put that one on the back burner, and then I'll have Columbo fucking plant evidence on the guy. It's like, that's the eye of Sauron. That's what Michael Malice calls it. It's like the eye of Sauron has shifted. Finally, the public is like looking at something else for once. I want them to fucking burn. I want them to be so burned. And I just like this AOC being
What do
like,
you
yeah,
mean?
I authored the Green New Deal. What?
What do you mean? You want them to burn?
I don't mean like literally burn to death. I'm saying like crash and burn. I want like when the story, next time the story comes out, finish them. Like Get them out. Get them the
It
fuck out.
won't happen. It won't
And
happen.
it never will. Why? That's
I don't
so
know.
wrong and such bullshit.
I don't know.
hate
Not
that.
enough people are listening to this show. I mean, right? This is me yelling at the TV in the morning. What the fuck? Seriously. What the fuck?
I
I
found a fucking
authored the
solution,
Green
dude. I
New
should
Deal. It's on Wikipedia, for God's sake. That's
just- you
where
can-
everybody
wait, it says it
goes
to you
now.
when you talk to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's common knowledge enough where Google can read it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't fabricate that. I mean, right there.
A robot told me.
In 2006, the Green New Deal, whatever,
Deal
was
authored by a
established.
Green New Tax Force. Yeah.
Oh.
So she's a fucking dirty liar. And when she was 15 years old, she invented carbon taxes.
Yeah, maybe she was on that committee.
Can you imagine? Wow, we've been so wrong
Greta-
about her. She
Greta's
has
back.
a ton of experience.
Thank you for that. Charlie sent me another link to read. Greta's back. And she says,
Oh, yeah, Greta's
what doesn't
back.
go
You're
far
welcome.
enough? Something doesn't go far enough?
Biden's fucking whatever, you know. His here's the picture of her. She's 18 now. She's not special. Look at her. Greta.
she looks
Um,
pissed. She looks
She
pissed.
looks so pissed. She looks confused. Green New Deal very far from being enough. We can't
Oh.
negotiate with the laws of physics. I should be on the other side of the ocean.
Oh, yeah, so we're back in the Paris Accord. So she has something
Yeah.
to say about us. So we're in
And
Greta's
get the
crosshairs.
fuck out of our country. You're not American.
America is back in Greta's crosshairs because of Biden's executive action. That's hilarious.
Wasn't enough.
That would be a
Yeah.
funny cartoon, like Biden, and Greta with the crosshairs. Biden puts us, we're in danger. Greta's scary.
That's what I mean by the Eye of Sauron. It's like, it's from Lord of the Rings, but yeah, it's whenever the eye focuses on you, it's like all this bad shit happens.
Proud to say I
would
don't know
expect
a thing
people
of
to
it. Never
love
heard of it. But anyway.
Yeah, well, it's okay. How can we expect people to support any kind of action when the general public welcome awareness is so low when it comes to the climate? We have not been made aware of what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We are treating a crisis like a crisis. Okay. Anyway. You're not American, bitch. Get the fuck out. And I can call you that because you're 18 now. I can say whatever I want.
I don't know. That might be a good engage with Greta.
Wait, there was another article too I sent you. Hang on. There was a third one. It might not have been as good. Biden's opposition to Joe Biden's executive order that removes any legal recognition of the two sexes and eliminates crucial protections for women in federal government and beyond.
They got a point.
What the fuck?
They totally have
Yeah.
a point.
And what the fuck? And this, by the way, you go to this group's page, they're like totally anti-trans. And I don't mean like anti-trans as in like that's their thing. They're just like in support of women who are actually women, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, hey, what?
Okay, here's
And then-
turf. Here's turf. So turf would be. I'm sure they would espouse the same opinion. They do. It's trans exclusionary radical feminist. So they have the same concerns.
Yeah, exclusionary. Yeah, and it's like, hey, women are women and men are not women. Whoa, that's a leap. Who thought that would be a controversial subject in
Right.
2021?
And the big things are, things that you compete in where you have a physical advantage, and then places where you would be physically unsafe because you're literally outmatched in terms of like strength, like prison.
Literally outmatched. Wait, I want to show you this picture. I don't know if you
Literally,
can see it. It's on my
literally,
phone.
literally. Trying to make you feel better. Literally. Is
There
that
it is.
is that somebody who's transitioned?
It's
who's
some high school boy in a women's
Well, you
wrestling
can't say that.
league.
It's a girl.
It's
You
it's
gotta
a high
say it's
school
a girl.
who has very masculine features. She is a handsome girl who is choking the shit out of a biological female during a wrestling match in high school or something. And look, she's not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, be careful, man. We're on YouTube.
The other girl is, That's ridiculous. And now
Yeah.
it's like anyone can do that.
YouTube mandates proper use of pronouns, just so you know.
Sorry. But my
Um,
point is that this kid, Zer, is I think, doing the right thing by abusing that rule if it's going to shed light that says, hey, this is totally wrong and fucked up.
oh, is that the
because
point
that
of what that girl's doing?
Could happen. And there's definitely some coach and there's definitely some $1 million baby type situation going on out there where the coach and the kid are like, we're going to bring the system to his knees because this is wrong. Let's show them that this is why this is fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know if that's one of the situations.
Yeah, I mean, again, pound for pound, if you've grown up with testosterone in your system, you outmatch other women. Period.
This is funny. We can end it on this, but my girlfriend occasionally will joke around, and she'll jokingly try to like choke me out, and it's not like a sex thing, I promise.
Right.
But like as a joke, and I swear my neck muscles are stronger than the muscles in her hand, so she can't even do it if she physically wanted to do it.
I had a girl get mad at me, really mad at me, at a formal party in college. And she said, I'm so mad I could punch you in the face. And I went like this.
Do it? Yeah. What did you do to deserve that?
She fucking hit me with a haymaker, man.
Oh my God, were you okay?
So listen to this. She goes, boom, and just like hits me right here. Okay. Then she goes to hit me again with the other hand, and it was like out of a movie. And I literally grabbed her hand and just pushed it back.
It's almost cute. I'm sorry, women. And I was at this event last night, and maybe.
Well,
we
she
should end
worked
it on
out.
this
She
quick.
was not small, so she connected with me pretty good. But
Did you have a nice little bruise there the next day?
I
Jaws
had a
not as
little bone bruise, so I was a little sore.
Yeah.
She fractured her wrist and had to wear a soft cast for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't punch people in the jaw. That's like boxing. You're supposed to punch them in the eye or in the nose. That's like a good way to. deliver
She
a
didn't
punch,
know. She's not a fighter, but
Yeah.
anyway. And I was she hit me right where I
Yeah.
pointed. But anyway,
Right here, bitch.
no,
On
I
the
think
lip.
she said I could punch you in the mouth, and she punched me in the mouth. But anyway,
At least you did what she said.
what was it? Yeah,
Wait.
so the point was just the physical stature, I weighed 170 pounds and she weighed 120 pounds, and it's just, and she went to hit me again, and again, I just literally grabbed her hand in motion and stopped it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not like I'm bragging, like, yeah, I overpowered a girl.
No, it's not. It's just really what it's like. And
Yeah.
there was the Gavin.
I mean, that was
McInnes'
a-
rule was.
That was a
every time
real
a
world
woman-
deal.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Every time.
No, it's okay. Gavin McInnes would say, and I know what you're probably going to say to this, and I would agree with you, but every 13 punches a girl throws at you, you can throw one back. And I think you would say that it's probably wrong.
Well, yeah,
never
because you're going to
punch
knock her out.
She's dead. Yeah, you could fucking break her neck or whatever. But the last night I was at an event.
You should never hit a girl. I still believe
Right.
that.
That's the point. Is you should never hit a girl. And then there's, never mind. That's stupid. But that was Gavin's rules. 13 punches per one punch.
And how did he make
was
that
at this event.
calculation?
I don't know. He's
He's a
doing
smart
the math.
guy. I'm sure there's something behind it.
I don't know if he's that smart.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he
He's
hangs out
definitely
with
a
smart
thinker.
guys.
He's definitely creative.
Anyway, you were.
Yeah. At an event yesterday, where I did do what I told you I was going to do, by the way. It didn't work
Thank
out,
you very
of course,
much.
socially, but of course. And there was a girl there. I was showing the same picture of the girl choking out the other girl, this photo. And I was showing it to some people because of the whole Biden, there's no longer legal basis for what is a man or a woman or whatever, and like everyone can play whatever sport. And so I'm showing this picture. I'm like, this is what comes to my mind. It's just this girl that looks like a boy choking out another girl, and the other girl has no chance.
When
because
was
she
that?
didn't grow up with testosterone.
Do you know when
This
that
could have been
picture
3
was
or
taken?
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that's
you
when this
wa-
was a big story. I remember that. But
Do you watch the Brett Weinstein and Heather Haying, his wife?
no, but really, really quickly, I was showing that picture, and one of this one girl who, by the way, this is always the case whenever I see her, was like, well, I could find a picture of a girl beating up a boy or whatever, and I'm like, you fucking don't grasp the concept, right?
Yeah, that's
you don't
not the
even
point.
Understand.
That's not
You
even
don't
what you were
understand.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
you-
so
like,
if
yeah.
Ronda Rousey, who weighs, I don't know, if you fought Ronda Rousey, she would beat the shit out of you. Period.
The fucking snot out of me, yeah. And I'm not.
Yeah.
You think that I wouldn't admit that, or that I'd be embarrassed by that fact?
Right.
What the fuck?
It's a skill thing.
Yeah.
She's a professional fighter.
Yeah. Anyway, that is a problem in America. Is that needs to be like discerned. There's you don't get that anyway. Brett and Heather.
I'll send you a link. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole at this point because we're
Let's talk about
we're near the end.
biological
But
difference.
yeah, there was a trans woman, and they kind of screwed up. They pulled their episode off the air. It was like an 8 or 9-year-old clip that was on YouTube, and this woman hadn't she was fully
Clothed.
equipped with male genitalia and was using a pool at coincidentally was a place they got kicked out of, the Washington University, Evergreen College, and their pool room, like swimming pool, they lent it out to like a high school. And so this trans woman who had not transitioned in terms of, physicality or however you call it, was like, walking around the locker room naked and was literally taking saunas, like sprawled out. And it sounded as though she was literally kind of looking for trouble. And
Let's get this. Let's. Clear
I'll
this up,
find
and
the
I like-
video, and it's really, she's just all fucked up in her opinion and how she was like, well, somebody has to teach these girls about this stuff. And we're talking like, 14-year-old
you,
girls
you
who have
fucking delusional.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have that right. So what if some parent says, I got a 14-year-old girl. She's never
I'm
seen.
killing that
She's
woman.
never seen, male genitalia, and I
that's a
certainly
grown
don't.
man- grown-
And it's my kid, and you're saying somebody has to teach my 14-year-old girl? No, I don't want her taking saunas with you. And so guess what they did? They made another locker room that was much, much smaller.
For trans.
And how did it work out? The trans
I don't
woman
know.
kept using the big locker room and the sauna, and a whole bunch of high school girls were using this itty bitty like bathroom basically to change and go into and out of the pool.
Because there
was
I
so
just got like vertigo.
So fucking self-centered.
Because I'm sorry about YouTube regulations. I'll be I'll be as stepping on eggshells as I can.
No, you
but-
got to do it right. You have to do it right.
Okay.
Got to use the right pronouns. You got to use the right gender.
There is a woman who is, I'm assuming, muscular, right? Quite muscular, even for a man, with, I'm guessing, long hair, maybe nail polish and makeup, with a giant man-sized penis walking around a 14-year-old girl's locker room and telling them that this is something that they have to learn about at some point. What the fuck what is so hard about that? What do you find that's okay with? Is okay with that? Because you don't want to hurt her feelings by telling her that that's not okay? That is so fucked up and disgusting.
Oh yeah. This person was clearly
You're
not
mentally
right.
ill. Excuse
Yeah.
me, but
she was
that's
messed
fucked up.
I'll send you
At
the
least
video.
cover yourself,
It's
you know?
exactly.
Be-
You know what?
Yeah.
Have the respect that you have people who aren't fully mature enough to maybe understand what the fuck you're doing. Let alone, the whole sexual part of it. It was anyway. We don't
And
want
what the fuck if
we don't
you're
want to kill
aroused?
this.
Then what? You're like, sorry, no, we don't. But it's disgusting. And I think we totally abided by the rules there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no,
Ick.
it was.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen where trans people have been on podcasts and wherever, and they're very nice and they're very respectful and
aware.
they're just
You're aware
regular
of who
people
you are.
and they're right. They're regular
Yes.
people and they're polite and they understand it's different. And this person was just wacky, just wacky.
I'm just like I said. I think the thing is you are self-aware. Like Blair White would never do that, right? Who's like, by the way, beautiful. I would say.
I don't
as
know
a
who
trans
Blair White
woman.
is. Okay.
You can look her up. She's beautiful. And then I'm picturing this other trans woman in this locker room being like a Navy SEAL type. Maybe that's wrong,
No,
but
it wasn't. It was a very soft, kind of like
Oh.
pear-shaped body.
still though, and as
you,
someone who also has male genitalia, what? My
Have you seen
point
the
is,
Have you seen the cartoon Bob's Burgers?
Yes, I have. I love the guy John H. Benjamin, who's like my favorite voice actor of all time.
Okay, so she had the body of Bob.
Oh, really? H. John Benjamin? That's funny.
Yeah, just no musculature,
And a
chunky,
big fat gut.
just chunky, not a big fat gut,
Okay,
just
so-
soft and no muscles.
So that's fucking awful. And as someone who has male genitalia, I know that it often has a mind of its own. So like, what are you doing walking around sometimes at half mast? What the fuck is that?
Well, you don't
Like,
know that. I
don't-
mean, you're
I don't know that, but I'm assuming that this person. I can't
Y-
assume. I'll
yeah.
shut the fuck up now.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
goofy road to go down.
Sorry,
But anyway, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It's just it's high school girls, right? Who range in age generally from 13 to 17. And come on, somebody's got to teach them. Yeah, their parents, and they get to decide when and where and what.
or themselves when they get a boyfriend in 3 years and decide that they're ready to do whatever they're gonna do. You know?
Yeah, but
4
but
years
they're
and
minors.
18.
They're still in the custody of their parents, right? And
I'm saying when they're 18. Yeah,
yeah, so we've killed this. We're killing this.
it's okay. Yeah.
All right, I asked the 8-ball question last week. What do we got? What do you got? And I don't know if you remember, but we got a non-definitive 8-ball question last week that we were going to follow up on, and we didn't. Because my
Oh,
question
shit.
was the Biden
Ask again later.
inauguration going to be uneventful? And it said, not
it
sure,
was.
ask again later.
Okay. I've got one.
Except AOC didn't go.
Because it wasn't safe. I thought that she might have
No, no,
actually
no,
thought
she didn't.
that for real.
She didn't go because
And,
she
like-
had an event in New York.
I'm just saying, how funny would it be if she doesn't go, and everybody there dies, and it's like AOC is the one person left in elected government, elected office, and it's like she's like, oh fucking thank God I didn't go to that. Wow, I'm smart, and it's like AOC is the president now. So funny. Anyway, my question for the 8-ball today is: will the Biden presidency, President 46, will Joe Biden be president of the United States for at least 800 days from today?
Interesting number.
It is certain. I think 800 days is because 200. You get 2 years in there, so Kamala can actually run for a full 2 terms after. So strategically, if I was
Oh.
doing it, I would step down beyond the 2-year point, and 800 days is a nice round number. So, we're
Well,
getting a
you know
yes.
what? Yeah, he's a nice man. I hope he.
We're getting it in certain.
I hope it's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, man. That was
That was
interesting.
fun.
That was interesting.
More so than fun. Yeah.
It was both.
Um,
The list was fun.
Yeah.
The other stuff was fun too. Just
Yeah.
yeah, you got riled up.
Sorry.
I was riled up
Abominable.
when I first saw it. I was like, this is this person's Looney Tunes.
That's what I'm thinking. Right. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes.
I
We'll just
agree.
leave it at that.
Yep.
All right, let's play some music. What do you say? What's the name of our Supersonic?
Supersonic.
Say goodbye, Charlie.
Bye. Bye, folks.
Say goodbye, Chris. Bye, everybody. Come on now. I clicked on you. Bye again. Thanks for playing.
You get a